So I'm making this video about a doctor that I've come across in South Africa. So I'm American, right? And I'm very ill. I have a malabsorption issue that came on very fast. That I've had other very serious health issues my whole life, and moved here to get away from the American healthcare system, which is horrible and nothing but for profit. So, also to get my daughter away from the fluoride. So here I am, and I find this doctor, which I think is amazing and awesome, and she seems to really care about what's wrong with me and wants to help me find out. And now that I'm so seriously ill and I need weekly vitamin infusions just to keep my vitamins normalized, which they're not even there yet, they're still getting to the normal levels right now. She sends me for a celiac test, which, I'm okay getting tested for anything. I'm ready to just find out what this is. But upon doing some research myself, I think I might have cystic fibrosis. Might explain the symptoms I've had my entire life. And she questions that. She says, well, why would you think you have cystic fibrosis? And I tell her, and she goes, okay, well, we'll do the test for you. So she sends me up to do a chloride test, all the way to Port Elizabeth from Jeffreys Bay, about an hour. So I drive an hour one way and go get the sweat test is what they do first, right? Well, that came back inconclusive. So she had me drive all the way down to Port Elizabeth again to retake the chloride test. Now, she talks about cost. She doesn't want to run all these tests on me because she's worried about costs. Well, when something is killing you, you don't really worry about what it might cost to stay alive. You just pay it, right? So as I explained to her, when it comes to a test that you might think I have, or that I might possibly have, run the test. I have to know if this is what I have or not, because if it is, I can start dealing with these very serious issues affecting my health, right? Well, the second test that I took, they wanted me to take blood with it because the first test didn't actually come back inconclusive. It came back, I failed part of the test and the other part showed intermediate. So I needed to go back and test again to see if the chloride level was high enough. Now, there are several cystic fibrosis mutations where the chloride level falls below normal, or in the normal range. So I told her that, I have the worst luck ever. If this comes back normal this time, I'd still like to get tested genetically so that I have a sure yes or no. Since some of the mutations fall below that, if you test negative on the sweat test, you could still have cystic fibrosis. That's not a definitive test. The definitive test is the genetic test. That's what I wanted in my own heart, so I know that I don't have it. I have to know that I do or don't have this illness so I can move on, look at other things, or start treating it if I do, So they have my blood. She talks to the pathologist, and the pathologist said she didn't think it would be worthwhile to do this genetic test. Now, my answer was, if this pathologist were ill, serious malabsorption issue, 30 pounds lost in a month and a half, still losing weight every day, really, really underweight. I've never been this skinny in my life. And I just want to know what's wrong with me. So they threw my blood away, right? Now I have to find another doctor. I'm not going to cry. Find another doctor. Drive all the way back to Port Elizabeth, because you have to do the sweat test first, right? Go through that, which was actually very uncomfortable. I did it twice already. I have some sort of sensory neuropathy that's undiagnosed. Things that touch me hurt me. And if you put something on me tight, it literally feels like you're trying to cut my arm off. And they had to put this thing on me very tightly for 5 minutes. And that's might not seem like a lot for anyone else, but that's a long time for me to have something strapped to my arm so tight that it's causing indentions in my skin. is very painful for me. Just to have that thing on me, let alone the weird feeling that the electrical charges send to my skin. It was very uncomfortable and I didn't like it, and I've already done it twice. Now I have to likely go do it again. I also don't like my skin being needled for no reason, right? If you're gonna if you're gonna poke a needle all the way through my skin and draw blood from me, you better use it. I'm very unsatisfied with Dr. Willemein's service. Her pathologist, I don't care if they're friends and they're in on it together. What it seems like to me is that she was being a little egotistical since she thinks I have celiac disease, and I don't think I have that. I could, but I don't think it's likely. She doesn't think I had CF. At least I'm telling her, yeah, I'll do the celiac test. I don't think I have celiac, but I'll do the test. She could have said, I don't think you have CF, but we'll go ahead and do the test. That's what a doctor does. What the patient needs. Anything the patient needs to feel better, to have an answer, that's what the doctor does. Willemein is not a real doctor. She's someone parading around as a doctor, and she had me real fooled for about 2 weeks. But I'm not fooled anymore, and I see right through you. You will not see me back. If you want to give me the answer to that stupid celiac test, go ahead. I think it will be negative. If it's positive, I don't care. I'm still going to go get my CF test done because I have to know for myself that it's negative, and I don't know that. But thank you, Willemein, for wasting my time and money, which you said you were concerned about. That's what she said, so concerned about money that she wasn't doing tests she needed to do, right? When I told you to your face, I'm not worried about the money. I'm worried about finding out what's wrong with me because I'm very sick. You need to care more about your patients and less about your ego.